Good afternoon, y'all. Saturday, July 19th, 2025. I'm back in the kitchen again, about to whip up some tuna. I'm tuning some fries, little snack for Saturday. What's happening with y'all? I'm gonna start going live. And I noticed when I be doing these videos that I be telling people go to YouTube, because YouTube you could send a longer video. I don't know why TikTok and Instagram be tripping. You know, they want them little quick, you know, them little shorts. So I do have a YouTube account. I'm gonna have more, more videos and stuff on a YouTube account, so it's gonna be better for y'all to go to YouTube. And my YouTube account is my name, Ali Washington, ALI Washington, _ 21 Summers. That's ALI Washington, _ 21 Summers. I'm right here cutting up some onions. Got my boiled eggs on deck. Got to get me a few cans of tuna out the cupboard, aka cabinet. I got a story for y'all. I don't know what story it's gonna be, but I got a story for y'all in that place. That's another thing. Y'all gotta let me know what subject matter y'all want here, cause man, that joint's so crazy. I seen so much stuff in there, and you got to understand, I've been not just the parish jail, but I've been to four other facilities. You know, the penitentiary and three more facilities in Louisiana. Everybody, I ain't gonna say everybody, but it was said that Angola was once the bloodiest penitentiary, I think in the world, or in America or something like that. But everything transformed like in '95 when the new warden had came. You know, he introduced not introduced, but he let the law have his way though. You know what I'm saying? And Jesus went to sweeping through that thing, and toned it down. Don't get me wrong now. He still had the wild crowd and all that. People that's gonna, it's just gonna be that, man. The world good, and you got good and you got evil. But it changed a whole lot, the culture of it. But I ain't lying. Before I went home, man, my last 10 months, I had got shipped to another facility before I got released. I think that was the worst one I've been at. I'm talking about full of them youngsters. Security, it was unskilled. They really don't know how to run they really didn't have the proper training to conduct that environment. Man, that joint was so wild. And the guy had got his wife to Google the facility to see what it was about, what was going on with it. And he came back and said that his wife told him that the average age of that facility was 26 years old. And I say that to say it was full of youngsters. I'm talking about from 17 to that age there, to that 26. And, that age group there, males, the males in that, in that environment, still really in life, you still be trying to find yourself, your purpose and why I'm here. And so there was proving itself. I ain't let nobody play with me, which is understandable. You got to set the tone. Sometimes you're gonna have to just do that, period, regardless of who you are. God ain't create no cowards. And I remember my elder used to always be saying that. What's up, Elder? Elder Rose. That's what I got born again under. Yes, indeed. Him and Pastor Jack. I thank God for y'all, for real. But, yeah, God ain't make no cowards, man. Peter and them wasn't scary in that Bible, man. Them disciples, them dudes was gangsters, for real. That's why he chose them. If I can get them to not operate in the physical realm, trying to kill a body and operate in the spirit, man, they're gonna slay these demons. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, God ain't called no cowards. So, like I said in that environment there, sooner or later, you're going to have to stand up and say something. But back to what I was saying about that last facility where I was at, man, the joint was so chaotic with them youngsters. I'm talking about somebody got stabbed every day, period. The 10 months I was there, somebody got stabbed every day. And I slept, was considered in the front of the dome, because they have like, I think like about maybe 15, 20 beds, you know, lined up in a row. I slept like in the 7th bed, and, you know, the front of the dome was on there like, I want to say about a good 15 feet away. So when people walk in the dome, and, you know, our dome was connected to another dome, and, you know, people be walking in and out, in and out, in and out. And that's like the little exchange right there, like them 15 feet away. And man, so many stabbings and stuff went down right there, so many fights and all that right there. And my little cousin, man, Khalil, what's up, Khaliki? Basketball star, y'all gonna hear about him if y'all haven't heard about him. He up and coming. Starting point guard, yeah, he got a real promising career. But he had asked me, man, what's the worst thing you ever seen when you was in there? And I was like, I said, man, I seen, you know, so much stuff. He said, man, just tell me a story. And I said, man, I don't know if it was when I seen a dude just, you know, get stabbed real bad. You know, fell down, leaking, dude still jigging him. Dude started off jigging him in the back, caught him, jigging him in the back, jigging him in his neck, back his head, dude, and kind of pounced on him like a lion in the jungle. Dude fell, boom, and he was just on him, just hitting him. Good thing it wasn't no big old knife. It was probably something like this here. And they be thinking that they be having made up knives and all that. They do have them, but they be thinking they be having made up knives, man. They got some of them people, man, selling them things, man. I'm talking about, look, let me get one of these kitchen knives. I'm gonna get one too big, but decent size. Let's see. I done seen dude with stuff like this in there, you know, world knife like this here, with them ridges on them. I done seen them almost this big. Not this long, that much of that blade, but it's thick. Yeah, for real, in there. I'm talking about up them things. Jason ain't got nothing on them, boy. Michael Byers, them better not come play. I never seen nobody just like die in front of me, but they had instances where people was rushed on the street and they died. They had one dude, he got jigged up so bad in the stomach. I never forget that. He was trying to take it like a gangster too. He went laid in the bed. You know, everybody don't fight the same fight. And he went to go fight a dude in a little blind spot outside the dome. You just don't know, man. Dude was waiting to jig him up. He thought he was coming to fight. He's like, I'm gonna show you. You know, they had the old saying, don't bring a knife to a gunfight. Well, this fool brought his fist to a knife fight. I mean, you know, you got some good hands. You might could maneuver and, you know, take the knife from a dude, but that wasn't the case with that one now. I just seen everybody in the dome. I was in looking out the window. So I knew something was going on. That's for a blind spot outside the window where the security couldn't see. So I went to holler at one of the dudes I know. And I'm like, man, what's going on? He's like, man, they out there fighting, which they thought they was fighting. And the other dude had, the dude that was in the dome with us, man, got juked up bad. And he came back in the dome, had a jacket on, put a jacket on, trying to cover it up, man. He had punctured him all in his stomach and all that. I didn't know it was that bad when he come in the dome. And he laid in the bed. So you know, nobody really thought it was, they thought it was a fight, really. And man, that dude was in the bed dying slow. I'm talking about he was just went to just breathing so slow. And they had one dude, you know, he used wisdom. He was like, man, you laying in that bed trying to keep it real, man. You better go tell them people you gonna be, you know what happened, you gonna be sitting there and die. You ain't gotta tell them who did it, but you better get you some medical attention. He said, matter of fact, I'm gonna tell him. And the dude went told him. And so the medical head came in there, man. They took the covers off of that dude, removed that big old jacket, and he slept behind me. They had a fence, you know, dividing us. They chair and our chair. He slept behind me, like about 3 or 4 beds over. So I could just stand by the fence and still see him right there, man. When they took that jacket off of that dude, man, he didn't have no shirt on. Man, he had holes in him, and he had blood actually squirting out of him. You know, like a volcano erupting. I was like, man. And I'm talking about this dude was barely breathing. I'm talking barely holding on, sitting there about to die. I mean, he made it though. But man, that chunk was crazy. Yep. I done seen a dude slept on side me before, got whipped with some locks. Like, this some unimaginable stuff you'll think, you know, outside in this world to how survival is. And now I don't want to be talking too long. I'm going to do another video. I'm going to tell y'all about this because it be taking long to download. It's 9 minutes. Let me see.